What is going on, everybody? It's your favorite everything. This is JR Wisdom, and today I have my co-host. We haven't collabed in a while here in the city of Atlanta. Tell them what your name is, brother.
QT Dub from the Independent Mail. They'll see me in the comment section from time to time because I've been rocking with my mans for a minute.
For sure, for sure. And we are in the great city of Atlanta, Buckhead to be specific. We're in the new studio, so I figured, man, what better way than kick it off with my co-host here, QT Dub. And we just gonna rap with you guys real quick. And we can just talk about the city of Atlanta. Obviously, you've been living here a lot longer than I have. And as far as you see the women every day, which I think we discussed this before, you become desensitized to it.
It is funny. We did have that discussion.
Right.
Because of course you've been coming down here doing some things. You've had meet and greets and stuff before,
Right.
but I do remember specifically about them because you've been down here now about a month. It's been about a good month. And I remember that first week, you were kind of like, man, they down here, man,
Right.
like, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they are. But it's like after a while, because you can't go to Publix. It's cheeks at Publix. It's cheeks at school drop off. It's cheeks at the gym. It's cheeks at Costco. It's cheeks in your hallway. It's in the A. It's Cheeksville. So I also think that ends up being a little bit of the dilemma for women, even if they on that baddie bad chick status, because it's so plentiful here. And even though it's one of those discussions where people don't like hearing about these things right here and what you bring to them and all of that good stuff, the reason that comes up is because the cheeks can't just cut it because there's so many cheeks out there. So if you want somebody to be like, yo, I'm cuffing. I'm trying to take you off the market. I'm trying to take you out these streets. If you want that to happen, some other things gonna have to come on that square thing right there, other than just the bad body and the beat face. Like you say, to get back to it, it's a lot of it here. It's a lot of it here. And the thing is, it's more variety than you think. Because so many people move here.
Yeah.
So you got mommies from Miami, you got bad attitude New Yorkers down here ready to stomp you out and they wife beater. Everything you want to see, you gonna see it down here. And you're gonna get the Southern peach cornbread fed since day one, strutting up and down Bankhead. You're gonna get it all. You're gonna get it all.
So with that being said, everything you just said, is it true that this is a man's playground? Because a lot of women, I've heard a couple women say that since I've been here. They said that this is a man's playground, and women always typically say dating here is trash, which I've covered a lot of videos of. What do you think about that with the women saying that it's a man's playground?
Okay, so again, I have to throw these caveats out there. I'm a little bit of an older person. I'm your senior,
Right.
and so I haven't been in the game per se like that in a minute. But you don't have to be in, you can be in the stands to see what's going on in the game. And the thing is, it can easily be a playground here on the male standpoint. And this is the caveat I'm finna put in, because I'm gonna put this caveat in for a reason, because then we're gonna circle back to a comment we hear a lot pertaining to the trash dating scene from a female perspective here in Atlanta. So this is what I'm gonna get at. The more a male here, and I'm gonna go, we're not even just saying black man, but we can be specific if we want to. The more you are truly on top of your game. I don't mean the fake it till you make it thing. I'm not talking about having cars and junk just for the appearance. I'm talking about you have stuff going on, you got your investments, like you are really that dude.
Right.
It's your playground here, bro. I mean, because I already told you about the variety and what's here.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody truly on his business, the reason it's his playground, because this guy, his time is very valuable.
For sure.
So playing with a bunch of people, he doesn't have time to. So as soon as you exhibit a quality that eliminates you from him, you're eliminated.
Yeah.
And so that's seen as this is a trash dating pool, because what happens is that guy not only has options, but he has standards. See, I think a lot of times our women don't they kind of don't mind the options because they know he has the options.
Right.
What they don't like are the requirements slash standards that
Mhm.
this particular individual may have, especially if he's not an entertainer.
Mhm.
So if he's an athlete or an entertainer that's on a certain level making certain bucks, you can get away with a lot of things and have the perks of that high value individual without as many requirements, standards, or things you can't do with that
Right.
individual. So, say you attach to Young Gotti,
Mhm.
right? Angela Simmons can pretty much do whatever. She can wear what she wants to, whatever. As long as she's with him, he can do whatever. She can do whatever she wants to.
Mhm.
Well, let's say we got an equivalent of a black Elon Musk
Mhm.
or black Bill Gates or black Bezos. This guy doesn't operate like that.
Mhm.
So you can't do this. You still want him because he's got resources. He's
Right.
got a life experience that he can share with somebody else that you want to be a part of. You want that part,
Mhm.
but you don't want the part that it tells you, I can't have these nose piercings, can't have all these tattoos, can't be so loud. I don't want to hear all of that
Mhm.
as the person that I just want the stuff. I don't want these restrictions. So again, when those individuals that we all want have these requirements or are so quick to be like, nope, you don't fit, nope, you don't fit anymore. I got all of these options. What's left over are the fake it till you make it dudes.
Right.
Then down to the tiers of the Pookies and the Ray Rays. So what happens is once that because you the sphere always states it. It's about 16 to 20% of the same guy
Right.
that females are after or trying to date or showing attention to, giving the time of day to, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
That dude's busy. He's got all of his options. So what the ladies just don't go like, well, I'm taking my ball and going home. What do? The thing that they say they not gonna do, I ain't settling. They into and what they think they're doing is, I'm just gonna pass the time with these quote unquote lower tier dudes,
Mhm.
not paying attention to if that's actually the tier that they on or not. Because everybody wants this guy,
Right.
right? And then that was so when I can't get this dude, and then I still got to keep entertaining these lower tier dudes, like you'll go into sometimes. Here go JR, y'all. My thick, sexy BBW. What does she always complain about? Somebody that need a place to stay,
Yeah.
somebody that need money, somebody that just be on PlayStation or whatever all day. Well, why is that the case? Because the dude up here, the 16 or 20% dude that happens to be in Atlanta with all of these bad cheeks running around, he is too busy even for the sexy BBW that can still get a bunch of attention from Pookie, Ray Ray, or
Right.
whatever. And so then she gets that for a while she can get it, and then she gets tired of it.
Mm.
And then she'll go cut her camera on and then start complaining about it. So my thing is, if you're almost like Kevin, what God rest his soul, the Godfather,
Mhm.
Kevin oftentimes will ask people, "Where are they? Where you live at?"
Mhm.
Because I can't find a man. Well, where are you? And they'll be like, they'll live in
Kentucky.
some crazy place like
Yeah.
Kentucky, and Kevin will be like, "Well, you need to be in a metropolis if you're trying to attract this certain dude." Well, in some cases, they don't need to be in a metropolis.
Yeah.
They don't because it
Competition. Yeah.
boom, boom. Like
Mhm.
you are bad right here. You're not bad in LA.
Mhm.
You so
That's
that
right.
might be some advice too, man. Like because I know a lot of women are like, it dudes with paper and the A. So it almost becomes a pilgrimage that the A is the Mecca, that I'm finna be a baddie and I'm finna get that nigga. That dude. I'm finna go get him. And it's like, yep, you and about 15,000 other chicks this year alone
Mm.
are gonna come here with that same idea.
Mm.
So and then that's why it ends up being it's trash. Like
Perfectly
think
stated.
about it. Dudes that got means here, you won't hear them say it's trash.
For sure.
The only guys that'll say it's trash here are regulars, us regulars.
Right.
We'll say it's trash because we also gotta jump up and down the tiers of people we may not actually be trying to get to because we don't really qualify
Mm.
for the one that we want. So it's the qualification thing doesn't work on just one side. Both of us have to be qualified for
Mm.
what we're trying to get.
Understood.
It's the old man assessment. Yeah.
Nah, for sure, and I appreciate that old man assessment, and I heard you talking just now because I literally just posted a video yesterday where this woman was saying something about older men, which you spoke on,
Mhm.
not necessarily the older man portion, but the fact that, hey, do you really like me? If you don't really like me, I don't have time for the BS. If you cutting up, you got all these issues, I don't have time for it. If you giving me a hard time, I don't have time for it. So it's several other women around here, and if you can't get on my program, I can go deal with somebody else.
Mhm,
Which I completely agree, especially the part which I think the older you get, and which was the premise of that video, the
mhm,
older that you get, the less time you really gonna spend on a woman trying to figure out, okay, she's give you lukewarm
mhm,
responses,
mhm,
slow to respond, not really interested when she's with you. She's
mhm,
like, I'm doing you a favor.
mhm,
If I don't have
mhm.
anything better going on. And a lot of men need to
Yeah,
realize this,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I think here is one of those places where it's because it's so plentiful
Mhm,
that you don't have to stress yourself over one woman because this is the only pretty girl per se,
mhm,
for lack of a
mhm.
better term.
Or your terminology they used to like that you use a lot, the scarcity mindset. If you
Scarcity
got that
mindset.
scarcity mindset, then you gonna dog, you're not gonna just jump through hoops around here. You're gonna jump through flaming hoops with them on fire and all kind. And you're gonna be doused in gasoline, and you're gonna do it
Right.
with the if you have the scarcity mindset. But you also, like we were saying, you can end up with the scarcity mindset, and it may be true for you if you have not qualified yourself.
Mm,
Then because then there is a scarcity,
right.
for you per se. And what you were going back to with the in age and I caught that video.
Oh, yeah?
I caught that video, and the lady was correct. It was like, and like you were saying, at certain ages, you get all those lukewarm vibes and all of that stuff. It's just like, okay, well, you're in friend category. We're not
Mhm.
finna do all of this chasing to the end of the earth stuff,
Right.
even though that's what we learn. We quote unquote learn and
Pressure.
programmed we're supposed to do when we watch movies and listen to certain
Apply
the old school songs. I'm
up
like the new school R&B don't tell you none of that
now they
junk no
call
more.
it applying pressure.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to apply pressure.
So and I like to the clip that you responded to on that. I forgot the guy name, like Goldie
Goldie,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, and he was saying if you start with that chase, that's where you're gonna perpetually be chasing.
Mhm.
You're gonna perpetually be chasing. And if that woman is doing things that you don't like repetitively
Mhm.
after you've said you don't like it,
Right.
she doesn't like you like
She
that.
don't like you.
If she's
Exactly.
not doing things that you do like without you asking or begging or pleading over and over again, she doesn't like you. Because, like you said, a woman that is into you like that, she will help.
She gonna help you. She
She
gonna
will
help you
help.
date her,
And,
she gonna help you court her,
and
all
see
that.
it, and that, to be honest, like we were talking about at the beginning of this,
Mhm.
in this environment here being Atlanta, this highly competitive environment for females, that little bit alone may be the difference of you being cuffed or not.
Mhm.
Are you a helper? Are you a nurturer? Because everybody can slap on makeup.
Mhm.
Everybody glue game is sick. Everybody know the best places to go get the nails that he doesn't like.
Mhm.
See, the dude that has expressed he doesn't like 3-inch nails, guess what his woman doesn't have? 3-inch nails.
Mhm.
She doesn't do, oh, I got it because I like it. It may no, he said he doesn't like them, so I don't wear them
Mhm.
because I love him
Yep.
and what he does for me and my family and blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
Because don't get it twisted. There's things that he doesn't do for you
Mhm.
or he does do for you. And that's how it works. But
Right.
you can't go, you can do it, but you'll have a certain result. But if you go into this thing with, and that's anybody, with me, people get tired of me
For sure.
on both sides. People get tired of me. And I mean, from birth, we kind of cultivate the meanness in our women.
Mhm.
Like, and I'm saying daddies included. We all produce little princesses from the time they come out. They are a princess. They are royalty from the time they come out. Haven't done anything, but they're princesses. I have a little princess. She was a princess day one. What did she do? Nothing. How many little kings do we have? Every once in a while, you'll have a dude that's that dude, and he like, yeah, my boy's a king, like off the rip. But most of the time, kingship has to be earned.
Right.
So when that starts from the beginning like that, that's something that's hard to break. Like I have an appreciation for the sphere. You
Right.
know that. And it's not because I'm sitting over here at the studio, but I've told you this, not on camera. I've told you this. I, a long time ago, gravitated to your content because I thought within the sphere, it was a little more balanced and
Mhm.
well-rounded. It wasn't everything by the red pill book,
Your
5'2",
man, woman, hater.
135, blah, blah, and I've seen you catch flack for somebody was thick and you're like, I don't see nothing wrong. But JR, here's a Bob. I get it. I get it. And so, but my thing is that's what made me gravitate to you because my thing is it's not all delusional women's fault. And it's definitely not all our fault. We have been getting the brunt of this for decades. Like Kevin used to say, the color purpleism, everybody's been beaten. It's like, come on, yo. Everybody in jail. No man takes care of his kids.
Right.
It's like, yo, man, I know more guys right now that are straight up the primary parent. And I'm not saying guys in general, I'm saying black men. But then and it's like, y'all are still turn on this camera and say, take care of your kids.
Right.
Y'all will still do it. So anyway, I appreciate the balance. But like I say, the me part in a place like Atlanta, it'll probably set you apart if you're not so me-ish around here. If you're trying to catch what you're trying to catch around.
Mm. And for the ladies, obviously there's tons of videos on TikTok where ladies are like telling other ladies, do not come here.
Mhm.
You may be a big fish in a small pond where you're from, but once you come
Just
here,
said it.
you're a small fish in a big pond. You're no longer that person. You thought, whatever, I'm gonna come to Atlanta, shut it down. I'm gonna date a baller. I'm gonna do this. You may end up being a booty clapper.
Yo, I love it. I'm glad. I'm so glad you said it. And man, he's in a nice monologue right now. And this is what happens when you have some stupid little YouTuber come over and he start running his mouth too much. But yo, when you say that, there's so much of a confusion, I think, especially when I think women first get here, of mistaken sexual attention
Yeah.
for qualification. And I think that what happens is a lot of times because some females can come down here and get clapped up by a certain tier dude that they think that they qualify for that guy.
Mm.
And then what happens is they ignore a lot of the people that they actually do qualify for that would actually still be around when there is no sexual attention. Because I think that's the part, and that's where I'm wrestling with when and how to actually explain this to my daughter. As far as knowing that she's got serious decisions to make, and my daughter's about to turn 18. So she's got serious decisions to make on what to do with this next 6 years, really, to be honest, between 18 and 24. Do you go all in on career woman? Or do you look and see, because these are the years where your likely mate is going to pop up in this 6 years.
Right.
Are you going to ignore them? Or are you going to cultivate the relationship? Because I think what happens is not much emphasis on letting women know that your value is front loaded. It's front loaded.
Right.
It's front loaded.
Born with it.
It's front loaded. And what I mean is a 20-year-old woman and a 20-year-old male are not the same. They are not the same. A 20-year-old female can go over here to Buckhead and shut the bar down, depending on what she looked like. Unless this 20-year-old is Shador Sanders, not finna happen. He ain't got nothing. He hasn't done nothing. He can't do nothing.
Right.
So your value is front loaded. As they say, the world is your oyster at that moment, but you got to figure out what you're going to do with it. Because if too much of it is, and I say of it, your time, if too much of your time is invested in just you in your early years and your happiness and your experiences and your fantasies, it's going to be a great time during that time. And my thing is like nobody's trying to scare females or make them settle for things that it's just like, but just pay attention, because when and people want it, like we have walls too. Men have walls too. It's just ours is just pushed out a little further. But the thing is, once 40 hits, if you haven't invested your time into wherewithal places, and it may not just be a company, because once you age out of that company, you have aged out of that company. They don't give two damns about you sitting at home at 62. They don't by yourself. But when you invest in a your time into a family, into a relationship with the man. Then when those lighter years come by, somebody remembers that. See, I don't know if you remember, or if I grew up in a small town.
Mhm.
I'm an older guy.
Same here. Yeah.
And I remember being 12, 13, 14 years old and single women, and most of the time it was because their husband had died.
Right.
The whole community took care of them.
Mm.
And it was, why did the community take care of them? Because they took care of the community in their younger days. They taught school. They were nurses. They did daycare. They built their families. So all of their kids were always around. Their grandkids were around. They had a system and a network of people that cared about them because they cared for more people other than themselves in their younger years.
Mm.
And nobody is telling these women this now. Everything's about what I want, what I feel, me, and that's fine for right now. But don't Vivica us later on. Don't Lisa Ray us later on. Don't do any of that. And oh my God, and please don't Leslie Jones us. Have you seen her latest?
I saw that this morning about
Yo, please, man, give me some, man. Give me some.
you. If we're talking about the same thing, I saw something today saying that she's tired of taking care of men.
Yeah.
She's
Mm-hmm,
as far as dating
mm-hmm,
and being trash,
mm-hmm,
she's tired of that.
mm-hmm,
But what
mm-hmm.
she has to understand is, ladies, if you're not that good of a looker, or if you're a low hanging fruit, and I hate to say, I talk about my BBWs. I
Mhm,
love my BBWs,
mhm,
but a lot of BBWs tend to have lower self esteem. They tend to be low hanging fruit, and they tend to lead with their money or assets that they may be able to provide a man as a shortcut, for lack of a better term. Instead of me working on myself physically, I'm just going to buy a man or pay for a man. In the case of Leslie Jones, she's a wealthy woman. She's not that, no offense. No matter how much makeup, really, and she's a tall woman. She's a big woman, and she's not a
mhm.
petite woman at all. So, of course, the men that she wants, she's probably gonna have to pay for them. And it was someone else who said that. It was a big chick. I think Monique said that.
What she say?
She's like, I never had a problem getting men in the past,
Mm,
but that's because she was paying for men.
mhm.
So you can afford to do that when you reach a certain level. Just my thoughts, you know.
Yeah, and it was just weird. I'm like, why does this lady keep acting like she doesn't know? She older than us,
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
So we've all I've been in my body half a century in a
Mhm.
couple of months, right? I know it. It's skinny, right?
Mm,
I know what it is. This lady's like 56, 57 years old. She don't know what it is she inside of. All of us know our making models.
for sure.
Okay. So she came
Yeah.
out in the first video and was like, I don't even want you to have to hardcore edit, but was talking about dude stuff wasn't working.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude stuff wasn't
I
working.
remember that.
My thing is, if Leslie was in a room with 10 other women,
Hmm.
how many of those other women, I'm being serious, how many of those other women do you think would be saying they keep running into dudes that stuff don't work? Out of
Mm.
all the complaints I've been seeing on TikTok that chicks make, motherfucker stuff not working ain't been one of them.
Nah, it's not. It's
That's a
definitely not.
you problem.
Yeah.
That's a you problem. You the reason they stuff don't work.
Mm.
You the reason they stuff don't work. See, and I'm not trying to really pick on her, but the reason I brought that up is this is the type of female that cannot be a me person.
Hmm.
You're supposed to be going above and
Right.
beyond to compensate for your make and model.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
but instead of doing that, you'll go get in the seat when they cut a camera and a microphone on, and you'll blame the consumer. Because let's be real. No, let's be real and
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
compare because all our women are professionals now. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? They got degrees, so they're good at understanding business analogies.
Mhm.
All right. In the world of relationships, let's make this a car lot. Let's make this a lot. Okay. The women are the cars. Okay. The men are the purchasers because we're the ones that have to propose for marriage. We're the ones in charge of marriage. We hold the gatekeeper. We're the gatekeepers to that. They're the gatekeepers to sex and relationships. So you guys are the ones that are offering your services, your goods, your product. You're Girl Max. All right. We're going to take a trip to Girl Max. We're looking at the vehicles. We, the customer, we're saying some of these vehicles are too high. Well, at a regular car lot, what happens when the customers keep coming in and they're like, I don't really like these vehicles over here because I think they're too expensive. The mileage is high, it's dinged up a little bit, blah, 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 blah. What happens after about 3 or 4 weeks on that car lot? They mark the damn car down. Not on Girl Max. When you go to Girl Max and the consumers say, this mileage is a little bit high. It's 3 kids on this one. It's dinged up. It's about 225 and only 5.3. I think it's a little bit high. Customer, you stupid. The price is what it is. What happened to the customer is always right. The customer is always wrong when you go to Girl Max.
Always wrong. You're absolutely right. Always
But
wrong.
then they wonder why all of the makes and models are still sitting there. It's the lot that cannot move any inventory. The SUV sitting over there. And the problem is every one of these cars are luxury. Every one of these cars are luxury. None of them are pickups. I like a pickup. That chick's helpful. She help you bring stuff. She's got horsepower. If you lacking a little bit, she got horsepower. Nope, everybody's a BMW. Everybody at Girl Max is a BMW or a Mercedes or a Porsche. And none of the customers can say it's overpriced or you're dusty.
Yo, hey, that was an excellent analogy, QT Dub. I appreciate that, man.
Girl Max.
Yeah, that was an excellent analogy right there in terms of, I'm about to say Car Max, Girl Max. And you're right. They're all luxury vehicles. Nothing's wrong. The problem is you. So I don't know, man. But all in all, this is going to be an interesting journey with this podcast. I intend to have on more personalities, local people from all different walks of life, both men and women, and they can give their experience on this whole thing. If you guys are interested and you're in the Atlanta area, shoot me a DM or email me if you just want to share your dating experience out here, some things that you've come across, and just what life is like here in Atlanta. With that being said, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is JR Wisdom, and this is my co-host,
QT Dub.
QT Dub. You guys make sure you still putting out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a hiatus right now, but independent mail, check me out.
Yeah, it'll be linked here, and it'll be in the title and description of the video. So y'all go check him out for sure. And listen, guys, we're going to catch you guys on the next one because I got to get up out of here. And make sure you guys tune in, subscribe to the podcast, and follow us on all platforms. I'm out of here. Peace.